My name is Sully, better known as Pius. I can help with surahs so I can recite.
My name is Suhaila, memorizing surahs, reading the Quran, and practicing the Sunnah.
My name is Mommy, better known as Umi. Islamic education is key to the family. We tune in every day to learn something new, and Sunnah Followers is helping us, and it could help you too. Tune in every day for new programming. Stay tuned.
And much more.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wake up in the morning, hands and feet get wet. My Lord, get wet. Get wet, my Lord. Wet, my Lord. Wet, my Lord. Wake up in the morning, hands and feet get wet. Getting ready for our conversation, deep and in depth. Obligations are serious and need to be met. So I prepare so I won't forget. Go ahead and make a good intention. Yeah, yeah. You can write for some good things. Yeah, make a donation to the side and go from left to make it right. Just remember and don't lose sight. Jannah is the goal. Jannah is the goal. Jannah is the goal.
Hey, I got a couple questions for y'all. The first one, who is your Lord? What is your religion? Who is your prophet? Now, I know this sounds crazy, but if you're one of those people that have been trying to get information and you come across this, or even this. All right, take a listen.
Assalamu alaikum. I am Sister Laila Nasheeba, the Managing Director and founder of SunnahFollowers Online Islamic University. As you know, we have classes every day beginning at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And we cover everything from Aqidah, which is your belief system, to Seerah, which are the stories of the Prophet, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, the story of the companions. Please join us every day beginning at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And we are broadcasting and streaming live on Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn, DLive, Trovo, and Twitch. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.
Any scores! Hey, wait, is that the Adhan? I think so, inshallah. Alhamdulillah, alhamdulillah.
Yeah, man.
Well,
Gotta pray.
Yeah, we do gotta pray. We gotta pray. Let's get that in.
Yes, sir.
ASAP.
I don't know what it is,
Akbar.
but what? You know, I've been listening to this program, Sunnah Followers, and I've been learning a lot, Aki. Man, a lot. Yeah, like what? What you been learning about? Man, I've been learning about a lot. Salah, hadith, the life of the Prophet, sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Man.
Wow, for real though.
And you know another thing? The shows just keep coming on back to back.
Alhamdulillah. I just gotta check them out.
For real though.
Yo,
wow. My guy, if you have any questions, check this out. Every Friday, you can call in Sister Laila live. Call her with any one of your questions in regards to this deen. And man, she will answer them. She will get you right. Anyway, inshallah, I'm about to tune into that. But you know something else? If this is going to be a benefit to me, I got to get with that Sadaqah Jariyah.
All right. Donate to SunnahFollowers.net. We're here for you. Sadaqah Jariyah. Assalamu alaikum.
Ask Sister Laila live. Sister Laila live. Weekly for the shower at the hour. Ask Sister Laila live. Sister Laila. Invite your friends and family. Get cozy. Ask Sister Laila.
The human brain is a marvel of creation, intricately designed to seek meaning and connection. During Ramadan, this quest for spiritual fulfillment is heightened. Fasting activates areas of the brain that are associated with empathy, self-control, and reflection. Join us this Thursday at 6:15 p.m. for an enlightening lecture by Dr. Daniel Abdulrahman McBride on the fascinating connection between the brain, religion, and Ramadan.
Woke, woke. There are so many things going on around. You must take heed. It's been written and prophesied about, so you must believe. Not everything that glitters is gold. Pay attention as it's been told.
Join us every Friday, 7 p.m. Eastern, with Brother Yusuf as he tackles and breaks down current events, current news, and politics, and the Islamic Ummah. Please join us, streaming on all major platforms. Channel SunnahFollowers.
Alhamdulillah, it is that time again. Increase our worship and plead for forgiveness. Alhamdulillah, it is that time again. Increase our worship and plead for
Need inspiration? Need to brush up on the do's and don'ts during this blessed month? Join us for SunnahFollowers Ramadan Prep and allow Ustada Laila Nasheeba to walk you through day by day through this blessed month of Ramadan. This will keep your iman tight, your ibadah right, and keep you pushing in the light. Streaming on all major platforms. Channel SunnahFollowers.
In alhamdulillah, wa salat, wa salam ala wa rasulullah. I'd like to welcome everybody to our Ramadan prep series. Our Ramadan prep series. Inshallah, Ramadan will occur sometime by the end of this week, either Friday or Saturday, one of those days. We have to wait, as we're going to talk about today. I know that Muslims today have deviated so far away from the traditional Islam. Allah has blessed us as a nation with knowledge of technology and science and stuff that he didn't bless the people back in the 6th century with. But alhamdulillah, traditional Islam, the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, what he came with is for all eras of civilization. We have what they call progressive Islam today, where things have been changed. The lines to things have become blurred. The lines, the rules of Islam blurred. No. As the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, stick upon the traditional Islam. The traditional Islam is what I have come with, what my companions are upon, and what the first 4 leaders after them will be upon. Stick to that Islam. But we've deviated away from it now. People, calculate. They calculate when Ramadan will occur, or, we got technology. We can look up at the sun and the moon and try to figure it out. But still, Allah is always the one that knows best. And we always will know less than him. So we have to look for the sighting of the moon, because nothing changes that. All right. The month can consist, as the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, it can consist of 29, sometimes 30 days. And we follow a lunar calendar. That's just the way it is. So we're going to have to look for that moon. And so it's going to probably be either, the 28th, the 29th, one of those days. We'll let you know, okay? Because we do, here at SunnahFollowers, we are connected to the different scholars around the world. We have scholars in Egypt, Saudi, Africa, Australia, and we're usually, every year I let you guys know if the moon's been sighted. So, but we're looking at this weekend, inshallah, the end of the week. So that's why I'm doing this prep series, so that my new shahadas, and by the way, I want to give, oops, I messed up. I know. Give salams to my new shahadas that are on this other, I messed up. Can y'all still see? Okay. So this other Zoom room that I'm streaming into from the masjid in Atlanta. A lot of new shahadas in there. I got about, how many of you guys are in there? About 25, 30? Oh, 40. Okay, mashallah. I got 40 new shahadas in that Zoom room. I got my Zoom room full. I got new shahadas all over, the internet, listening to different brothers, different masjids, sending their people here to learn. I even got some here where I live, from Cleveland, Ohio. Cleveland rocks. Cleveland rocks. Shout out to Cleveland. So, inshallah, guys, I'm doing this Ramadan prep like I do every year, to prepare all Muslims and to remind all Muslims, including myself, as to what is expected for us when this beautiful sacred month begins. Now, today, what I'm going to go over with all of you, and I want you all to take good notes. And by the way, I'm going to review all this, because for the whole month of Ramadan, I'll be speaking about this stuff over and over and more. We're going to speak about who is obligated to fast. And I'm going to also speak just a little bit about how Ramadan is determined. So what I want everyone to do, and I have the kids here listening too, I want you to remember, any children, all kids listen to me, any children who are 6 years old or older, I got my eyes on you. You're going to be fasting too, because that's what the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said. Oh yeah. The children fasted. The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, teach your children to fast when they are 6. Make them fast when they're 10. Okay? So, you kids, if you're 6 years old, raise your hand. How many I see? Oh, there's 1, there's 2, 3. I'm counting different kids. You're going to be fasting. Some of you, your parents may start you off with maybe a couple of hours a day, maybe 3 or 4 hours a day. Bruh, little Yusuf, he's about 9 years old now. Yusuf, I remember when Yusuf was 6 years old. He was 6 years old fasting the whole day at my website. Oh yeah. He's Somalian. He goes to Quran school now. He's still in here listening. So if little Yusuf could fast at the age of 6 all day long, even I did. When I was 6 years old, I was fasting the whole day. You can fast the whole day too. But if your mom thinks that you can't and wants to start you off with a couple of hours, that's good. But for all of you who are ages 9 and up, raise your hand. Everybody that's 9 and up, raise your hands. All of you will be fasting the whole day. A word of reminder to the little girls that menses can come at the age of 9. Oh yeah, a lot of us get our menses at the age of 9. I did. You're a woman. You're held accountable for your actions. So anyone that's 9 years old and older, for the children, you have to fast the whole day. And parents, pay attention. New shahadas in the Zoom room, outside the Zoom room. It's not mean. It's not oppressive. You need to teach your children self-restraint.
because we live in a world today where we overindulge in food. We overindulge in pleasure. And that's why most of us are obese, and our children too. That's why our children are lazy. So don't you dare think that it's oppressive for your kids to restrain from eating for a few hours out the day, because it's not. And we're going to talk more about that over the course of the month of Ramadan. But so we're going to go over in detail those who are obligated to fast. So put me on the big screen TV for the children. Yes. The kids like to watch me with the beautiful PowerPoints. Walaikum salam, Sister Jamila. Walaikum salam, Brother Ahmed, Sister Sakina. Brother Ahmed from Bangladesh is here too. I got my sisters keeping it real from the United Arab Emirates. Sister Wafa, Sister Heba, Sheikha Heba is here. MashaAllah. Alhamdulillah. Yeah, you guys will keep me in tune. I know. Alhamdulillah. So we got people joining us from all over the world. We got the different masjids here. I see Sheikh Muhammad Saeed Atlee's community is here. Assalamu alaikum, everybody. Give my salams to the Sheikh. Okay, I got my New Jersey and my Phillies, my Philadelphia, Detroit, Michigan in the house. Yes, Detroit, just a few minutes from where I live. Oh yeah, same type of weather. It's been nice here in the 40s. Oh yeah, so everybody's here, alhamdulillah. And there's Brother Muhammad. Walaikum salam wa rahmatullah wa barakatuhu. Everybody is here. I got my new shahadas and my old kick it Muslims too. Alhamdulillah. So tonight we're going to discuss who is obligated to fast, and we're going to also speak a little bit. I'm going to go into more detail, but a little bit about how the month is determined. So let's put the PowerPoint up here on the screen. And again, I want everyone to understand. When I did my class yesterday on the prayer, the combining prayers, many of the brothers were surprised. They were surprised that it's not based on how many miles you travel. That's what happens when you learn from a method, or you learn from a way other than the understanding of those companions. Remember, as Muslims, Allah tells us in the Quran, guys, that no one understands or ever will understand this religion better than those original companions. And that's why you're shocked to see that so many things you were told is not true. Because people give their opinions based on their opinions and not based on what did Ibn Abbas say? What did Umar say? What did Abu Bakr say? What did Aisha say? Because when they speak, everybody else can go sit down. Because Allah already said, you will never surpass them in your knowledge. You will never surpass them in your understanding, and you will never surpass them in your practice of this religion. So a lot of you were shocked to find out that the Prophet Muhammad used to combine his prayers, even if he traveled 1 mile. So it ain't about no certain amount of distance. Okay? Whenever you leave your place of residence to go to another part of the world that's not your normal place of residence, you can shorten and combine prayers. And a lot of you were shocked, but all those hadiths, you saw the sources, you took the screenshots, they're authentic, and a madhab cannot overrule them. I had a brother send me a fatwa from some Deobandi website. I don't even know what Deobandi is and don't care what Deobandi is. All I know is Deobandi, Friobani, Kino Thani, Alalilgi. No one can issue a fatwa to overrule what those original companions said. And all those hadiths are from Bukhari and Muslim. I took those hadiths directly from Bukhari and Muslim. I'm sorry, they're authentic. And no Diobani, Shiobani, Kiobani. I don't know who these people are, but they cannot overrule what Ibn Abbas said, what Umar said. I even gave y'all what Ali said, what El Hassan said, what Aisha said. So it's not my fault you guys are confused. It's just you weren't taught properly. Well, you're going to get confused with today's class on fasting too, because I'm going to go over who's obligated to fast. And again, everything that I teach, that's why I use PowerPoints, is taken directly from the authentic hadiths. It's not from a book written by some man with his views. This is all based on the authentic hadiths, okay? And I'm giving you guys the explanations as they were explained to me by true scholars of the ulama who know the Fusha, okay, and who know this religion. So we have to learn to just submit. Learn that we've lost our battles of truth and submit. When the evidence is given, submit. Just say, wow, I didn't know that. I thought you had to travel 50 miles because this Diobandi said so. Just say he was wrong and keep it moving. All right. So let's put the PowerPoint up on the screen. Yes, you got to break stuff down. All right. So here we go. More information for you guys. It's going to probably be new for many of you. So we're going to go over how the month of Ramadan is determined and who is obligated to fast. Let's put my PowerPoint here and I'm going to make it large. Yeah, take screenshots. Yes, Sister Amelia. Sister Amelia, yeah, just take screenshots of the PowerPoints for your kids. And what I suggest you guys do, watch it on a big screen TV because the PowerPoint is bigger. You can read it better, and take screenshots with your cell phone. And that way you can print everything out at the end of the class and staple it together. And you have all this information that you can store in your library in your home. So Ramadan is determined by the sighting of the moon. Whoever sees the crescent of the new moon or hears about it, this is the key, or hears that the crescent has been seen by a reliable, trustworthy source is obligated to fast. And this is the fitna that we endure every year. Every year, because we Muslims today are so far away from the traditional Islam. I don't like Arabs. So because you don't like Arabs, you don't want to hear what an Arab got to say about what they saw in their part of the world. Or I don't like Australians. I don't like Kiwis. So the Kiwis usually see it before anybody because of that the way Allah created the earth is round. They're the first, that hemisphere is the first hemisphere to see the sun and the moon. I don't want to take what they say. They Kiwis. So because we don't like people, today, we don't want to follow the Sunnah. But the Sunnah is whoever sees the crescent of the new moon or hears that it has been seen from anywhere in the world by a person that's reliable and trustworthy, that's when Ramadan begins. Okay? And by the way, using calculations to determine the beginning of Ramadan is innovation. This is a bid'ah, which means innovation in a religion. Why? Because we have this clear nas, this clear authentic hadith, where the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam again says, fast when you see the new moon and break your fast when you see it or someone else sees it. So we can't calculate when we think it's going to be seen. Okay? So that's the first thing. And I'm going to talk more about that when Ramadan, a little bit later on in the week, I'm going to give you some more hadiths. This local sighting, no, we don't follow a local sighting. That's not the Sunnah. And we're going to go over that. That's not from the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam Sunnah, nor is it from the companion Sunnah either. That was a one-time thing back when the companions were having their civil war. And I'm going to go over that with you guys later and give you all the dalil from out of Sahih Bukhari on it. So we don't have a choice. Nowhere does Allah tell us that we can choose to either do a local sighting or a worldly sighting. That doesn't exist. This is another bid'ah that has begun since we are so far apart in our love for each other. Okay? So once the moon has been seen, and who is required to see it? We can use satellites. We have technology. We have satellites. We have cameras and stuff now. If any adult, sane, trustworthy, reliable Muslim who has good eyesight looks through his telescope and says that he has seen the crescent with his own eyes, then we should take his word for it. And what usually happens every year, by the end of this week, the scholars will have their satellites. You usually see it on TV. They show it on CNN. You will see all these scholars from different parts of the world with their telescopes. Their telescopes glued to look at the crescent to spot the crescent of the moon. And all it takes is one. I mean, the Allah made the earth round, not flat. Like I said, this so-called local sighting is a bid'ah. That is not from the Sunnah of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam or his companions. Okay? You guys are innovators. And you got to get over your hatred for each other. This is what happens. Remember the hadith that we went over the other day, where you guys asked me, what did it mean? The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, whenever we pray, stand shoulder to shoulder and ankle to ankle. If we don't stand close during the prayer, division will appear amongst us. Well, we don't pray side by side like we're supposed to no more. So that's why we're so divided and hateful against each other as a nation. Remember, the prophet said our destruction will never come from our enemies. We ain't got to worry about Israel destroying us. We ain't got to worry about America, United Kingdom, the British. The prophet said our destruction will come from ourselves. We will hurt and kill each other. We're divided. We can't even begin Ramadan in accordance to the Sunnah because of our hatred for each other. Okay, but the Sunnah is, if any adult, sane, trustworthy, reliable Muslim, no matter where he is in the world, sees the moon, the crescent, then he has seen it for all of us. And again, I'll go into more detail about that later on in the week. God. Hold 1 second, guys. This is family. I got to take this one. Okay, guys, I'm sorry. I had to take that. Always when I do my class, everybody can still hear me. I'm still here, right? In Zoom room, is anybody in Zoom? Yeah. Is my granddaughter in there? Is Jayana in there? Do y'all see the name Jayana?
No, I don't see her name.
Okay, hold on for 1 second, guys. My granddaughter is supposed to be in this class. Just hold on for 1 second. Make sure I can get her in here. Oh, where's she at? Okay. Okay. All right. Hopefully she'll get home in time. Okay. So now, like I said, I'm going to go into more detail. Oh, wait a minute. They can see me on YouTube still, right? Set this so I can see. I've left the Zoom and the other one. Here I come. Here I come. Okay. There I am. Okay. Now y'all can see me in the other Zoom. Okay. Subhanallah. All right. All right, there. Okay, so we're going to talk more about that sighting of the moon and how we've deviated away from the traditional Islam and the Sunnah, and we've become innovators with this local sighting crap, which is not a part of Islam. In fact, the local sighting defeats the whole purpose of us fasting as a nation. But we'll get more into that later on in the week. So now what I want to do is discuss who is obligated to fast. Who is obligated to fast? Again, every sane. Y'all understand what the word sane means? That means no mental illness. For those of you who suffer with schizophrenia, for those of you who suffer with bipolarism, for those people who are developmentally disabled, for those people who have Alzheimer's and don't even know what day it is haram. I repeat, it is haram. I repeat, it is haram for you to fast. It's not even lawful. And I go through this every year because I got some schizophrenia, mentally ill people in my website, my students who want to try to fast when they can't, because all it does is destroy their chemical balance. The brain is a delicate part of the body, as Dr. McBride is teaching. And it doesn't take much when you're a left brain person. People with that type of schizophrenia and all of that and mental illness, you are left brain people. It doesn't take much to chemically imbalance the left hemisphere of the brain. So it is haram for you to fast. Because when Allah makes concessions, he wants us to follow and accept his concessions. He doesn't want you to disobey him and kill yourself and make your life miserable. So every adult sane, not mentally insane person is obligated to fast. So what do? For those of you who have mental health issues, you fall in the category of paying a ransom. And we're going to talk about the ransom later on in the week. And the ransom is your fast. All right? You get the same reward, but you ain't going to get no reward at all if you try to fast and you are mentally ill. If anything, you'll bring about Allah's anger on you and his curse. You'll end up in a mental ward. Okay? Also, not only must you be sane, but also settled. What does that mean? Not traveling. And we've been talking about that. We talked about that in my lecture yesterday. It's from the Sunnah of the Prophet Muhammad, sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He always combined his prayers and shortened his prayers when he traveled. And he never fasted. He never fasted. He never fasted when he traveled. Because again, traveling is another concession that Allah gives us. You know, why make the religion hard on yourself? Why do something that you don't have to do when that thing can be a break for you from your obligations? And also, you cannot be on your menses. New shahadas, pay attention. For you women who are new shahadas, we cannot fast if you're bleeding down there, nor can you pray. And that includes postnatal bleeding from having a baby. That's considered a menses. Okay? But if you are sane and you're not traveling and you're okay in health and all of that, then you are obligated to fast. And again, the children. How can we determine if a child is an adult? Real easy. When that child reaches puberty, for a girl, it's through her menses. Or if she doesn't have a menses, by the time she's age 15. If a girl, your daughter is 15 years old and no menses, she's obligated to fast. With a boy, whenever he experiences a wet dream, and you mothers know, if your son has had a wet dream, then he is puberty. He's obligated to fast. Also, if he's got a little mustache and a little beard and all of that, you know the signs of puberty on a boy now. Or if he's one of those that puber late, he too has to be 15. If he's 15 or older, he should be fasting, even if he has no signs of a wet dream or a beard, a mustache, or any of that. Okay? Also, the pubic hair around the private parts, that's a sign. Again, 15 years of age. Now, like I told you guys, a lot of girls, including myself, we start our menses at the age of 9 years old. That's why I tell you guys, if you have any children that are 9 or older, make them all fast the whole day. Because a lot of girls start their menses at the age of 9. If your girl start, there are some rare cases where a girl may have a menses at the age of 6, 7, or 8. But that's usually not a menses. That's usually a rare occurrence of the girl's body changing, that it may cause that to happen. But it doesn't, it's not regular. It may happen once. Okay? But so the doctors and the scholars say 9 years old. If it's underneath the age of 9, it's not considered a menses. It's the body experiencing other stuff to prepare her. And what about the young children? Again, you teach them at the age of 6, the age of 7, and you make them fast by the age of 10. That's based on this hadith. Here it is, Sahih Bukhari. One of the companions, she said, we used to make our children fast, and we would make for them a toy out of wool. And if one of them became hungry and started crying for food, we would let them play with that toy until it's time to break fast. And this is a beautiful hadith because it shows us, you know, it's kind of hard for kids. You know, let your kids take a break. You're making them fast the whole day because they're 9 years old, alhamdulillah. But let them take an hour to play Xbox. When they start getting tired around 4 o'clock in the afternoon, that's when they usually get tired. Oh, Umi is hurting. I'm kind of tired. Okay, you can go ahead and play Xbox for an hour. Or, you know, let them watch a little TV during the last hour of fasting. You know, let them play a game, play Monopoly with them or Scrabble with them or whatever they play. I don't know what games they play today. Play some cards, Old Maid or My Card, Bid Whisk. Play some bid, whisker, spades with the kids for the last couple of hours to take their mind off the fasting. Because that's what the companions would do. They made their kids fast, and they would give them toys to play with when it became difficult or tiring for them during the day. And again, for you parents who believe that fasting is too harsh, ponder this reality. Allah tells us in the interpretation of the meaning, "O you who believe, save yourselves and your families from a fire whose fuel is men and stones, over which are appointed angels who are stern and severe, who do not disobey from carrying out the commands of Allah." So that's your job as a parent. It's your job. It's my job. It's our job as parents and grandparents to save our families from the hellfire. You don't love your children more than you do Allah. You got to learn to balance that love. And children are stronger than we think. You guys see it here in my website. Look at my children's SunnahFollowers kids class on Sundays. These kids get all those questions right, and they're strong. Like I said, my kids on my Zoom room were fasting at the age of 6 the whole day and making all their prayers and wearing hijab. The girls on my website have been wearing hijab since they were 6 years old. Children are more resilient than we are because the fitra is awakened in their hearts where ours may die out. So fasting is good for your kids. Even the doctors will tell you that, because our kids tend to overeat. They spend too much time on social media or playing video games and eating than they do exercising and thinking. Okay, and fasting makes them think. So this brings us to a question that one of my new shahadas asked the other day, and I told you I'd talk about it today. What if a person converts to Islam during the month of Ramadan? You just became Muslim, and am I obligated to fast? Yes. Remember, I told you guys there are no baby steps in Islam. In fact, once you take your shahada, the first thing you're supposed to do is take a ghusl and pray whatever prayer is in at that time. There are no grace periods in Islam. So what about this? Ramadan has began and we're fasting. You're at the mosque making salat, and then a person walks in and says, "I want to become Muslim today, and I want to become Muslim right now." So that person takes their shahada. Is that person obligated to fast? Well, no, because we're going to talk about this. Your fast is not accepted without intentions, but that person should refrain from eating. You know, he should still try to refrain from eating for a couple of reasons. Number one, other Muslims are fasting and haven't broken their fast yet. And also, it's good for him to adjust immediately to his new way of life. Okay, will the fast be accepted? No, because he didn't have the intention. Okay, but they say it's best that he refrain from eating for the rest of the day for those two reasons. And I'm sorry, I hit the wrong button? Oh, I'm sorry. And the same with the children. Sorry, wrong button. The same with the children. Say, for example, your daughter, we're fasting. This is the month of Ramadan, and we're fasting. Your daughter comes to you and says, Umi, my menses. Okay, you clean her up. Okay, and the same thing with her. She should refrain from eating the rest of the day. That's good practice for her. All right, so I want y'all to keep that in mind. Keep that in mind. But again, they don't have to make that day up. They're not held accountable for that day because, again, they didn't meet the criteria of having the intentions to fast. And we're going to talk about this more when Ramadan begins next week. Let me reiterate, it is haram. It is haram. I'm going to say unlawful because it is. For people with mental health issues to even attempt to fast. If you bipolar, take your medicine and keep it moving. You schizo, take your medicine, keep it moving. Developmentally disabled people are not held accountable for anything. They don't even understand this stuff. The insane are not responsible for their deeds, remember, because the pen is lifted. But if a person is insane at some times and sane at others, you fast when you're sane. But this is where the problem comes in. And this is why we tell you don't even try to fast. Because of the medication. It doesn't take much to throw your metabolism off. Fasting is a big jump start to anybody's metabolism. And being bipolar, being schizo, that's a lot on your body and it's going to throw you off. So this is why we say, even though you are sane right now, don't even try it. Because we've witnessed, even here on my website, I got 2 students, Gracie and Brother Colic. They have not come back yet because both of them attempted to fast 2 years ago. And both of them are schizophrenia. Both of them have been thrown off and their body has not been regulated yet. And it's been 2 years. They're both locked up. They ain't came back yet because of their mental state. So that's how bad fasting can mess up a person whose left brain is like that. So that's why we say don't even attempt it. You can pray, of course, you do your prayers and stuff, but not fasting. You don't want to do anything that's going to trigger something bad to happen to you. So what about this? If a person dies during the month of Ramadan, say for example, I'm fasting, it's Ramadan, I fall out my chair, hit my head on a piece of cornbread, and I'm dead. Layla's dead, she gone. Y'all ain't got to hear this voice no more. My family does not have to make up the days that I'm not living for me. They don't have to fast the rest of the month for me. Allah does not hold us accountable for not being here to do something. Okay? Also, new shahadas, pay attention. My married couple, the effortless couple here, alhamdulillah, Sister Kimmy and Brother Abdullah, my effortless newlyweds. You cannot have relations until it's time to break the fast. What does that mean, Kimmy? That means when the adhan for Fajr is called, you tell your husband to go to the mosque or something. Go to work. Don't come home until it's time to break fast. Okay? No sexual relations from Fajr until Maghrib. Now, you can kiss and hug, but no sexual relations from Fajr till Maghrib. That's for all new shahadas. Okay? What if you didn't know that Ramadan was here? Of course, Allah doesn't hold us accountable for what we didn't know. But inshallah, you guys will know, because I'll let you guys know when Ramadan it comes in this week, inshallah. And also, if you're traveling, Brother Abdullah, let's say that your job, you're an engineer. Let's say that the company is going to send you out of town. You have to go to a seminar out of town somewhere. You're a traveler. You don't have to fast. We're going to talk in detail about that later when Ramadan begins. The traveler is allowed to break his fast. Okay? When do you break your fast? As soon as you leave your city limits. Like the prophet did, that hadith we went over yesterday. The prophet never combined. He didn't shorten his prayers when he went to the cemetery. But he was, because that was so close. And he didn't shorten his prayers when he went to answer the call of nature. But if he went outside of that area, that's when he would shorten. So wait till you leave the city. You live in Detroit. Once you go beyond Detroit, that's when you break your fast. Okay? Me, I live in Cuyahoga Falls. Once I get to a different suburb like Twinsburg, then I'll break my fast. I'm just giving examples. And that's all based on the verse of the Quran where the prophet, where Allah says if a person is traveling, if they're not settled, then they don't have to fast. And like I said, I'm going to go over the rules of traveling and stuff when Ramadan begins. A lot of people ask me, can you fast if you want to? Yes, you can. But it's the sunnah of the prophet to break it. But if you want to fast and make life hard on yourself, you can. And I'll go over that in more detail during Ramadan. What about this? One of the brothers here, Brother Bilal. Brother Bilal sent me an email. He said that he has to go out the country during the month of Ramadan for business. Okay? Whoever's determined to travel in Ramadan, again, if you're on a plane, let's look at this. I got it here. If the sun sets and you break your fast on the ground and then the plane takes off and you go to Africa where the sun is there, then you don't have to stop eating because you've already fulfilled your obligation. I'm trying to make it so you can understand, Brother Bilal. You're going to go to Tanzania. Okay? So you're going to leave at night when the fast is broken here. You fasted for the day. But when you up in the plane and y'all get closer to Africa, here you see it's daytime. Do you have to stop eating? No, because you've already completed that. And I'm going to go over this in more detail for you when Ramadan begins. And whoever is traveling or whoever is sick during the month of Ramadan, keep track of your days because you're going to make those days up later. Unless you fall in the category of ransom. Unless your mental health issues like bipolar, these people pay the ransom. But for regular sicknesses like the cold, the flu, COVID, stuff like that, keep track of those days so you can make them up later. What about this? What if you are a habitual traveler? What's a habitual traveler? You're an Uber. You're an Uber driver. You're always driving people from one city to another like a taxi driver. Now we don't use taxis as much. We use Ubers. Okay? A habitual traveler. These people don't have to fast if they have a home to return to. Okay? But they have to make those fasts up later. And that's based on this again. The prophet said fast when everyone is fasting and break your fast when everyone is breaking theirs. What is that talking about? If you're fasting and you go to a part of the world, or you're Ubering to a city where everybody is fasting, then you fast too. Because if they're fasting in that city, and you have to fast too, if you're going to be staying there for a while. That's the habitual traveler. You're taking somebody to LA, and when you get there, it's daytime and everybody is fasting, but you weren't fasting because you drove 3 or 4 days in your car to get there. But now that you're there and you decide to fast, you fast too, because everybody else is fasting. And I'm going to go over this stuff even more during Ramadan. But that's the basics of what I wanted to cover with you guys tonight, especially with the kids. I want you parents to understand that your children 6 years and older needs to be fasting. You use your parental discretion as to whether or not your 6 or 7 or 8-year-old can do a whole day or a half day. But if your kids are 9 and above, you need to make them do the whole day, because puberty can come at any moment once the kids turn 9, even for the boys. The boys will start getting wet dreams at the age of 9 too. So if your kids are 9 and older, they need to fast the whole day. And for those of you who have mental issues, don't even try it. For those of you who are sick with cancers, or some type of illness like that can become aggravated due to fasting, you fall in the category of the ransom too. If you have a sickness like I have, like GERD, my GERD acts up, I have to make the attempt to fast. But if I feel that GERD attack coming, I have to break it, because if I don't break it, it's going to get worse. That's ransom. That's ransom. Pregnant women are obligated to fast too, unless you're high risk. If you are a high risk pregnancy, your doctor has told you you are high risk, you don't even attempt it. Don't attempt it. You fall in the category of paying ransom. For you other sisters who are not high risk, you attempt to fast. But if fasting during the day becomes hard for you, you get that morning sickness, you become sick, break your fast. Pay the ransom for that day. Keep track of those days. Or just you're fasting, but if you got 5 other kids, the baby's running around, it's just too much. I have to break my fast. I can't do this. Break your fast. Pay the ransom. Pregnant women fall in the category of the ransom, guys. Yes, a lot of you didn't know that. Yes, you don't make those days up. That's too much. You pay ransom. You attempt to fast. For those of you who are healthy and normal, no, you're not no high risk. You attempt to fast just like I do. I attempt to fast each day because of GERD. I made it last Ramadan, the Ramadan before. Okay? But if I have to break it, I'm going to break it. Otherwise, I'm going to be in the hospital. GERD is like a heart attack, man. I won't have a heart attack, but that's what it feels like. That's some painful stuff. I ain't got time for no hospitals. I don't want no COVID. I don't want RSV and PT. Okay? All right. Any questions or comments? I'm going to talk about more about that tomorrow too, the pregnancy stuff. Go ahead.
I have a question. So, example, like myself, I was pregnant, and I'm pregnant now, and I was pregnant with my son, my 3-year-old, and then I was not high risk pregnant or anything. I was fasting the whole Ramadan, like almost at the 10 days in the middle of Ramadan. I got sick, and I was staying back. Someone was like, "You're not supposed to pay money or like give something to the mosque if you're helped to do it. Is that true?
These people are ignorant people. I don't know who these people are. No. Then when people tell you stuff like that, they have to do like I'm doing, bring you the hadith. And we're going to go into detail about that. The pregnant women, as the prophet, as Ibn Abbas, may Allah be pleased with him, said, pregnant women, you fall into the same category of ransom, because that's a sickness. Okay, we pay the ransom. Ibn Abbas, Ibn Umar, their wives paid the ransom. Okay, so that's whoever told you that is an idiot, and there's a lot of idiots.
I didn't pay after the Ramadan was over. The 5 days I missed, I fast those 5 days.
That's
I didn't pay it.
Yeah, well, that's stupid. Well, the ransom, also breastfeeding. The women who breastfeed are fall in the ransom category too. You sisters that are breastfeeding your babies, you make the attempt to fast. But if fasting causes your milk to dry up, break your fast and pay the ransom. Okay, go ahead, Sister Nia.
Assalamu alaikum. I have some family members and friends who they're wanting to fast during Ramadan with me. I've told them all about the fasting, that it's not just, food and, water and things like that. It's also, a spiritual fast and, all that stuff. And they're wanting to fast with me. Is there anything wrong with, teaching them more and,
Who are these people? Are they Muslims?
No.
Allah doesn't accept nothing from a non-Muslim. Their good deeds don't matter. If they want to fast, that's their business. But they're not getting no reward for it because they ain't Muslim. Okay? If non-believers want to fast, they can fast. Allah doesn't reward them for none of that stuff unless they, or their prayers, none of that stuff, unless they become Muslim. Ramadan is for us. This is our holiday. This is our month. This is the month. This is our month. We ain't concerned with non-Muslims, y'all. And I want to make this point. This is the month for us. Why y'all concerned with non-Muslims? They got enough holidays. This is our holiday. If they want to fast, then they can do it. But Allah is not rewarding them. And to be honest, you shouldn't even waste your time with them during the month of Ramadan trying to teach them when you just a new shahada. You got to teach yourself to fast. You guys who are new shahadas, how are you going to work with kafirs on something when you yourself are learning how to fast? You yourself are learning that. They don't understand the spiritualness of Ramadan like we do because they don't believe in Allah. But yeah, you can tell them if they want to fast, they can, but it don't mean nothing to them. And if I were you, because Ramadan is the month of self-evaluation. This is the month that we spend trying to better ourselves, to get closer to Allah, to get good rewards from Allah for ourselves, to get our sins forgiven. Who has time for non-Muslims who don't believe in Allah? Even me, my dawah is for Muslims. I don't care about the non-Muslims out there. That's their business. They got enough holidays. They don't understand. They think we crazy. When I used to go to work, I know what she's talking about. Some of my coworkers would say, "Oh, you fast?" And girl, I'm a fast too. I say, "Oh, knock yourself out and keep it moving." It's their business. But no, they don't get rewards. We do. Allah says He has enjoined fasting upon us to make us become righteous, more closer to Him, more conscious of Him, and more fearful of His punishment. This is the time that we look at ourselves as a nation and try to better ourselves, not some non-believer who don't even believe. And remember, I want y'all to remember this hadith too. When the Prophet Muhammad sent Mu'adh was the first da'iyah, the first ambassador, the first caller to Islam. The prophet sent him to Yemen. Yemen was a Christian country like America. The prophet told Muad, he said, I am sending you to a Christian country. Call the people to La ilaha illallah. That's what you should be calling these people to, Sister Nia. If you want to help your relatives to get close to Allah, they don't understand fasting. That ain't got nothing to do with it. You should be teaching your relatives what it means to believe in Allah and his lordship. As the prophet told Muad, only if they understand that, then you teach them how to pray. And only if and when they understand that, then you teach them to fast. Fasting is long down the list. When you guys are dealing with non-Muslims, you don't teach them Ramadan. What does that mean? They're not getting no blessing. These people don't believe in the lordship of Allah. They're just starving themselves. You call the non-believers to Allah through Tawheed or Rububiyah, like I taught y'all. So you teach your family members what it means to believe in Allah, that he has no partners, he has no son, that he's the creator of everything good, that he's the creator of everything evil, that he knows what's going to happen before it happens. And you teach them about his angels. You teach them about his prophets. You teach them about the paradise, the day of judgment. You teach them about how nothing happens unless Allah wills it. That's what you focus on with non-Muslims, not fast in Ramadan. What the heck Ramadan got to do with anything with them? Y'all see that hadith? Do y'all see how the Prophet Muhammad taught us how to give dawah to a non-believer? You don't start with Hajj. You don't start with Ramadan. You start with Tawheed. Everybody got that? This is our holiday. This is the month we party with Allah. This ain't the month for that stuff for the non-Muslims. Y'all got that? All right. Yeah, Sister Santisa, exactly. Your knees has nothing to do with fasting. You don't have reflexes in your knees. I had total knee replacement surgery, but my knees ain't got nothing to do with fasting. Yeah, we talking about a sickness. Having total knee replacement surgery ain't no sickness like that. Okay, you can fast with total knee replacement surgery. Yes, I fasted with bariatric surgery. When I had my bariatric surgery, Ramadan was the next month, and I fasted. It was good. Yeah, we talking about incurable diseases. Diseases that are incurable, that only get worse over time. That's going to take your body down or your brain down. Y'all understand? Not just any sickness. A headache, you can't break your fast because of a headache unless it's a migraine. If it's a cluster headache or a migraine, that's different. But just because you got that fasting headache, better deal with it. Yeah, exactly. I'm going to talk about that with you guys. Yes, you will get that headache, Brother Bilal. You're going to get a headache. But it's not from the coffee. It's from your sugar dropping in your body. It's normal. Yes, even if you didn't drink coffee, you had that headache. We all get it. Yeah, any other questions? Sister Wefas says she likes the way I answered that question. That is exactly what the Prophet told Abu Musa Ash'ari as well. Call the people to Tawheed and then call them to the prayer and then call them to the charity and then call them to, yes. Yeah, that's the hadith. Exactly. Yeah. Any other questions or comments? Yeah. You didn't know that, Brother Bilal? Yes, the prophet had Daya. So come on up. Muad, Abu Musa Ashari was one. Amir was another one. Yeah, exactly. Like I was telling you guys, there's nothing that we do today that hasn't already been addressed by the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. We just have to learn the Sunnah. Most Muslims don't know the Hadith. They don't know the Sunnah. Exactly. How did it spread from out of Arabia? Islam spread it from out of Arabia. They had Daya, callers to take it out. Amir ibn al-As was one too. Amir ibn al-As was one that took the dawah to Egypt. And what did they do? They called him to Tawheed. Tawheed. Ramadan is way down at the bottom. Sister Amina, if you start feeling overwhelmed in a Ramadan, just make dhikr or something. That's something that has to do with your anxiety. Get your anxiety under control. I don't know, however you deal with your anxiety, but you still have to fast. Yeah, that's something that you work on for yourself. You got to work, exercise. For those of you who suffer with anxiety, I'm telling you guys, the key to that is exercise. You sisters got to get up off y'all's buns and start working out. I exercise every day because all that overwhelmed stuff, that's you're sitting too much. You're sitting on your derriere too much. You sisters got to get more energetic. Yeah, get energetic. The more energetic you become, the less overwhelmed. I can tell you guys, since I've been exercising every day and working out with Sister Juania on Sundays here at SunnahFollowers, my anxiety is so much better. I don't do this that much. Exercise is the key. My doctor told me that too. Exercise, Laila. It helps you to keep you from getting overwhelmed. Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. Sister Amina, that's another thing you can do too. Like the sister here is just type. When you feel overwhelmed, do some breathing exercises. There's a bunch of them on the internet. Go to one of those fitness channels like I do and just do the breathing with them and exercise with them. Do the inhale, exhale stuff. That'll take away that overwhelmness. Yeah. Your daily walks is good, but also turn on YouTube. They got a lot of good meditation channels. I'm telling you that when you breathe it in, you're doing this and breathing out, girl, it really helps with that overwhelming stuff. When I started using those channels, so much better. All right, guys, the next class for tonight, the Mekosidic Tafsir. Did you guys see I put the pages? Please make sure you guys read the pages that I posted up on YouTube and Facebook and stuff. I think it's pages 50. What did I, 55 through 58. Yes, pages 55 through 58. Good stuff we're going to cover on how to soften up your heart. And this is all perfect since Ramadan will be starting at the end of this week. We're going to soften our hearts up with using those two parables. And also, guys, please support this dawah effort. You know, this is the first of the month is about to happen at the end of the week. We need donations. We need donations. It costs $2,000 a month to run this website. Please donate, guys. Use PayPal or Cash App or Zelle us. Look at all the blessings you guys are going to get this Ramadan. Inshallah. Yes. Okay, the sister here is asking about the ransom thing. Yes, don't worry, guys. Brother Mukhtar will take care of that ransom stuff for us this year too. For those of you in the Sunnah Followers WhatsApp group, just keep your eyes. Mukhtar will be giving you the place, the deal with the ransom. The people that will help this year with our ransom. Yes, you're in the WhatsApp group? Good. Yeah, Brother Mukhtar will take care of that, inshallah. All right, guys. I'll see you guys back here at 9:30. Inshallah. Subhanakallahumma wa bihamdika. Ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta astaghfiruka wa atubu ilaik. See you guys at 9:30, inshallah.